Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel once again. Welcome to the delayed flight. This is a tutorial about the hidden cameras of Captain Sim. I don't know about the other planes that have cabins, for instance PMDG or whatever, if this will work, but definitely it works with the planes of Captain Sim. And by the way, we have a look at one of the most amazing airports, which is a bespoke airport, of course. And actually, this airport has one of the most amazing windows I've ever seen. But this is not our point right now. Okay. And we're trying to find our plane first. Again, we have some views of this airport with the wonderful windows. And first of all, there are a few things that you must know. The most important of all is that you must know how I navigate my controls right now. And I will show you this because unfortunately you must keep notes. Always I say that you must keep notes, and you must know how to navigate with the drone camera and inside the cockpit, because the controls are different. So since we are still searching for our plane, this will take some time. Right now we use the drone camera. Okay. So once again, A, S, D, F. With your left hand you put your fingers, little finger A, ring finger S, middle finger D, and index finger F. Your fingers will remain in this position. And now with your right hand, it is the cross. I have said those things lots of times. 8, 4, 6, and 2 on the numpad. This is like a cross. And so with your middle finger, 8 and 2, you control 8 and 2. And with your index finger, you control 4, number 4 on the numpad. And with your ring finger, you control number 6. So 6 or 4. Actually, these are more important. With 8 and 2, you go up and down, which is not that important at the moment. So while you have your two fingers of the right hand, index finger on 4 and ring finger on 6, at the same time you move your fingers of your left hand one position up. So above S is W, which is the most important control, and S is going backwards, WS, with A and D, left and right, and with F you go down, and with R you go up. Okay, these controls are important, so you must be able to navigate like this. And later I will explain to you why, because afterwards we will use the controls inside the plane, which are different controls. We are moving quite quickly. Yes, and to move quickly is you move quickly with W and F6 together. W and F6, you accelerate, and with W and F5 you decelerate. Actually, finally you stop. So first of all, you must have some practice on these controls. For instance, now W and together F6, I accelerate. D, I correct my position with 4. If you have any questions, please let me know. I have also showed you how to climb stairs. Okay, a little bit quickly. R, letter R. Continuously, and with F you go down the stairs. Okay, so we are one floor above now. Some amazing views, and I think we are closer to. So according to the faucet, 4, 6, 4, 6, continuously. We press W, D, okay, straight and forward. I keep pressing W, and with F6 I accelerate. And now we must find somehow a way to go outside of the airport, I suppose. I saw some stairs here nearby. Okay, here for instance, now we turn. Right hand, 6. Okay. You see, we will manage to go down, I think. The stairs are a little bit steep, but I think we will manage. W. Now we must look down, which is number 2 on the numpad, isn't it? We are somewhere here, a wonderful airport. If you want to know more about this airport, which is free actually, you can download this wonderful airport. You can search it for hours. Somewhere here we are, somewhere here is our new baby today. I think somewhere here we are. This is our beauty. Here is she. Here is she. She had some appetite lately and she was eating a little bit more, but she's very healthy and very beautiful. Here she is, our Lufthansa cargo. This is our plane. I think she gained some weight, a few kilos, but she's still wonderful. So this is 777 of Captain Sim. If this is so important, it is the 777-200F, the freighter, the cargo, which is a wonderful plane. But in general, the things that we say concern all the planes of Captain Sim. I mean the 777-300 and 777-200, the airliner, and also the 777-200F, the freighter, and about the 2767 of Captain Sim, 767-300 and 767-400. I'm not that sure because there the cabins are slightly different. You can try with all the 777s of Captain Sim, and of course with cargo, with this freighter that we have right now. So we are waiting the stairs to get connected, and we will board in, and I will show you some amazing things. Actually, we explore an error of Captain Sim. I found an error on Captain Sim's keyboard commands actually, and this is exactly what we will explore. And before we board, just remember these controls. Drone camera right now, W, S, D, A. We turn with the other hand, with our right hand, 4 and 6. And we accelerate and decelerate with F5 and F6. So a little bit quickly now, because otherwise we will not be able to board. As fast as you can. Actually, this is a add-on. FSLTL is this, or which one is it? I think so. That you can walk inside. I show you these things for free without giving a dime. So we are about to enter inside our plane, isn't it? This is exactly where we are. Now here we leave the drone camera, okay, and we press insert, and we are inside our cockpit. Insert again. With insert we changed between cockpit view, actually airplane's view, it is the aircraft's view inside cockpit and cabin, and drone camera. Insert. Now inside the plane the controls are different. Okay, these are the controls that I have on my joystick actually. But in order to navigate inside the aircraft, inside the cabin and inside the cockpit, you press shift, left shift, okay, and the arrows, left shift and the arrows, you see, right arrow, up, down, right arrow, and left arrow. Okay. Now, if you don't press shift and you just press the arrows, you just go up and down, which is also extremely useful because like this you can arrange your position in the cockpit. So, left, right, up and down, it is just the arrows. But if you want to turn, you press shift together with the arrow. So this is shift, right arrow, shift, left arrow, shift up, arrow, shift down, arrow. And this is the way that you navigate inside your plane. Now, again, insert. Still they didn't leave. You see how polite. We can still use the stairs. So here the most important command with the drone camera, isn't it? It is W and S, isn't it? W and S. So in order to go forward, you press Alt on the keyboard and arrow up. That's it. Alt and arrow down, you go back. So my point is that as you can navigate everywhere with the drone camera, 4-5 on the numpad, 8-2 on the numpad, right hand, W, S, D, A, F and R. These are the commands. As you can navigate everywhere with the drone camera outside of the plane, because actually you use the drone camera outside of the plane, you can as well navigate everywhere inside your aircraft with the commands that I have just showed you. Alt arrow down, Alt arrow up, Alt left arrow and Alt right arrow. And we turn, shift, left arrow, shift right arrow, and this is up and down. Don't forget that this is a cargo, so things are a little bit different here. Alt, up, arrow up, shift. Inside your plane, actually you gain the ability to move in space and time. This thing, though it sounds a little bit weird, I have said it lots of times. Now, for instance, we are here, isn't it? We climb the stairs, isn't it? Here we leave the drone mode, we press insert, and now the controls are different. Actually, this is not correct. Correct is like this, shift, left arrow. Correct is something like this. If I want, as I say, to combine the two modes. The key is to combine the two modes. I cannot go, let's say, outside, isn't it? This is the drone mode. Insert. We are inside the plane. And now I don't use ASDF and so on anymore. I just use the arrows, shift and alt. I think I can as well dismiss the stairs, isn't it? Okay. There is no door to unlock here. And now with Alt and arrow up, we go inside the cargo. So here we are. This is the 777-200F. The 777-200 freighter of Captain Sim, which is an extremely reliable and wonderful airplane that I definitely would suggest you to buy. Actually, I suggest you to buy all the fleet of Captain Sim. I have said this lots of times. I was thinking that maybe you got a little bit tired, so you can have a coffee, something, because we are not done. Keep your notes, have a notebook, and a teaser for you, what is about this clip actually. I want you to have cameras like this. Have a look. I will try to show you how you can have saved cameras like this. Isn't it wonderful? This is exactly what I'm trying to show you right now. See how wonderful the plane is just landing. And by the way, see, and again, see to close our reverse thrust. A saved camera. This is the tutorial about. Another saved camera, which I can change anytime I want. This also, those three are from the left side. From the right side is this one. Okay, this Alt 6, this one. I will show you how you save cameras. This also. Crystal clear cameras, no windows, no nothing. And also, I think 4 cameras are inside the plane. Yeah, this one, okay. So please stay tuned and we may continue. Of course, these things that we are saying here right now, you cannot perform with the Dreamliner, with the 787 and with the 747 of Asobo, because there is no cabin there. I have said lots of times that this is one, maybe the major mistake of MSFS 2020, that these planes are empty inside. So, of course, if we have the 777-300 or the 777-200, the civilian plane, the airliner, and the 767 series of Captain Sim, here are the seats, isn't it? First class and so on. But with the freighter we can navigate much more easier. Now, the fuselage. Try to find the errors. You try to find the mistakes. And this is a way that sooner or later will bring you outside of the plane. It may take some time because unfortunately here you don't have F5 and F6, you cannot accelerate and decelerate. So what I mean an error of Captain Sim? I mean that an error in the programming of the fuselage, whatever, gives you the ability to see outside of the plane. This is a small example. Let's say in the other planes, here you're somewhere close to the catering service, I suppose, isn't it? We said about the navigation, shift and the arrows. So have a look here. This is just an example. You see? You will try to find errors like this. This is just a small example. We try to position ourselves outside of the plane. Okay, this is not the best camera, of course, to save, because I can save this camera, but you will continue this thing. You will continue searching for such errors. See here, for instance. And then I will tell you what you will do. Definitely, if you have any aircraft of the Captain Sim's fleet, you can do exactly the same things with Alt Shift and the arrows, and you can search every inch of the plane. Now we are in the aft of the plane, and I will continue. This is another example, for instance. Now I continue to search and I changed my position. We are somewhere here. So here, this you will explore. Something like this. Exactly this. And somewhere here, sooner or later, we will find the correct point, don't worry. Here, for instance, there is another example. You will search this area here. Have a look. You see? Have a look. Here it is. So this, for instance, you see, this you can save this camera, isn't it? How you save the camera I will tell you later. Now you are outside of the plane, you see? Exactly here. This is another example. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. It took me some time, but here it is. Have a look where the wings are. The moment of truth. And here, now, have in mind that I use the controls of the cabin, not the drone mode. I use the arrows and Shift and Alt. See now here, Alt, right arrow, that's it. Alt, left arrow, have a look. For instance, this is one of the errors that I spotted. Here, you see here we are inside the plane. We use the Shift, Alt and arrows controls. And here, this is the moment of truth. Now we are outside of the plane. We are outside of the plane and we still use the controls of the cabin mode, not of the drone camera. Please don't mix those two things. This is the drone camera. S, D, R, F and so on. No, not this one. Now, we didn't use these controls because more or less we are in the same position, isn't it? But we use the arrows. Here we are. So that means that if you find this kind of errors that the cabins of Captain Sim have, you're outside of and that means that you can save any camera you'd like. For instance, this I can save. This I can save. I will show you how. And most important of all is now. This is the miracle. This is the magic. Now you can navigate outside of the plane using the cabin mode and not the drone camera. And this gives you the ability to save any camera that you like. These cameras, all I can save. This is how I saved my cameras. And from time to time, I change them. Immediately, when you will manage this, I repeat, it can take some time. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. If you manage to find yourself outside of the cockpit, immediately you save this view. You save this view pressing, let's say, CTRL, Alt and 0. CTRL, Alt and 0 together. With CTRL and Alt and a number from 1 until 0 on the keyboard, not on the numpad, you can save the cameras. CTRL, Alt and 0. Do this immediately when you will be outside the plane, because at least you have one camera, and that means that at any time you can find yourself outside of the plane finally. For instance, this is a saved camera. Have a look. Alt 0, Alt 9, Alt 8, Alt 7 and so on. We bring back these saved cameras. This is the way to save a camera with. So we were talking about this camera. Okay, now that you're outside of the plane, you can save the rest cameras that you like. How? Because you can say, okay, I can save, let's say, this side. I can save something like this. No. Here is the magic. Here is the magic. Alt, up, arrow, arrow up, Alt, left arrow, Alt, right arrow, Alt, down arrow, and you navigate, and with Shift you turn. And of course the question is, yes, okay, we managed from this side of the plane, actually from the left side, isn't it? So what we do next? It will take also some time. Arrow up, you continue higher, higher, arrow up, and now right arrow. You see? Using the cabin mode and the cockpit mode, I can turn actually my position and I can find myself, have a look, on the other side of the plane. Okay, it takes some time, I know. You see? Actually, we passed the obstacle, let's say, of the whole plane. And now we are from the other side of the plane, isn't it? And we can continue and we can save the views that we like from the other side of the plane, actually from the right side. Usually I save, let's say, Alt 8, 9, 10, 3 views from the right side, Alt 5, 6, 7 for the left side, and even one more. And definitely Alt 1, 2, 3 are my views inside the cockpit, which I use for takeoff and landing. So, like this, you see, we are higher than the plane using the cabin commands, but we went from the other side. So, arrow down. Here it is. Here it is. And if you make any kind of mistake and you go very close to the fuselage actually, then you must start from the beginning, bringing back your saved camera. I know it moves a little bit slowly, but it is okay. It is worth it to do it. Now you choose usually, okay, you know, one camera can be close to the wings, whatever you like. I mean, you can go wherever you like. You want to save this camera. I will not change my camera. Cameras, okay. CTRL and Alt, CTRL and Alt together. You keep pressing them together, and then you choose a number from 1 until 0, and the camera is saved. And you bring back the saved camera with, let's say, Alt and 0. It is that simple. Let us continue. CTRL and Alt together with a number from 1 until 0. I'm just giving you some ideas. For instance, this one. You can save this camera. You want to save a camera like this. You can save whatever you want in general, whatever you like. And don't forget that if you want to continue to explore this mistake, you must go higher than the plane, quite higher than the plane. This is now arrow up. Alt plus arrow up. We remain higher than the plane. And you continue from the other side. Why? Because if, for instance, you make this mistake and you get close to the aircraft, quite close, or you attempt to enter like this, Alt, have a look now. Unfortunately, the magic is gone. Now you cannot return outside. Or you can. No, you cannot. You see. Now it is again the restriction. Excuse me. Now it is again the restrictions of the fuselage. Now you are again inside the plane. And according to the faucet, you cannot go outside. You must explore this error from the beginning. You see, now you have the restrictions, you have the limits of the fuselage. As soon as you will find yourself outside of the plane, immediately save this camera. So that if something happens, for instance, if by mistake you find yourself again inside the plane, you see, now you cannot go outside, isn't it? You bring back the saved camera. Let's say, for instance, this was Alt 5. And you're again outside, and you continue. Alt 0, this we have seen already. Alt 9. Alt 7. These actually are my saved cameras. You see here, I'm higher than the fuselage of the plane, isn't it? Alt 6. This camera I also like a lot. And of course the controls are Shift and the arrows and Alt and the arrows, isn't it? To save successfully one view from outside, and that means that you will be outside of the plane forever. You can explore this error of Captain Sim, and you can have some wonderful camera views saved. This is of the few things that I always insist to enter your airplane, no matter if it is a Cessna or a Boeing or an Airbus or whatever, a payware or a freeware to enter your plane normally. So, okay, F6 and get W and F6. So here we are, and we have the airliner now. This is not the cargo, it is the 777-200 of Captain Sim, and I just want to show you something here. Let us not insist much about the jetways or the stairs. Actually, I think that we cannot bring any jetways or any stairs here. Again, the same controls, isn't it? Shift and the arrows. Here, of course, we have first class, business class, economy class, a class for every budget. A class for every budget is something to be. A working class hero is something to be. Can we hear this song, maybe? Can we hear this song from Marianne Faithfull, maybe? A working class hero is something to be. Since there are so many revolutionary ideas today, yeah, we can hear, let's say, a song about a working class hero, and I prefer this version from the version of John Lennon. So here we have a cabin. Now how from economy, business class and first class we managed to hear a working class hero of Marianne Faithfull. I don't know what kind of idea was this one. So the same procedure again. You stuck your face on the windows and you just search to find a hole, an error of Captain Sim, and to find yourself outside. For instance, if I go here, this is my saved cameras. CTRL and Alt to save your cameras. We have seen these cameras lots of times. I prefer cameras without windows at all. I mean, just outside of the plane. For instance, this one is an amazing camera. And like this, we return back with Alt and arrow down. Isn't it? Here it is. Okay. Alt and arrow up. So I want to find myself in the catering service, actually, somewhere here in the aft of the plane, and we're about to finish this clip. And here is another mistake that you can explore. If you go here, I have showed this in many clips, somewhere here I think it is. In general, search the aft of the plane. Here it is, you see. Again, you're outside of the plane here. And if you struggle a little bit, you can again save some wonderful camera views. This is a camera view, for instance, that I have used sometimes because it is quite strange during landings. Okay, and maybe the same from the other side, or not. Here it is, yeah, again the same. You see? And this is the 100. What am I saying? And this is the 777-200. I'm totally stupid. So you can as well explore this mistake of Captain Sim and again find yourself outside of the plane. Here it is. Okay, I will not insist much this time. With the mouse you change the position. Right now I'm using the mouse. Right click on the mouse, Alt 8. Okay, here we have a view from the window. Here we are totally outside. And so on and so on. Alt 7, Alt 6. Okay. And last but not the least, I want to show you something, okay? If you have any of the planes of Captain Sim, you can as well go to Sim Objects. This is the folder. Airplanes. This is the freighter. And here is a file called Cameras SFG. Every plane has a file like this, a cameras.sfg file. So you press here. Okay, I can open it with Notepad or with Microsoft Office Word. Okay, let us choose Microsoft Office. So, about those things, I'm not a specialist and I cannot say much. But if you know more than me, I will just show you. You can save this file, for instance. I will just show you the camera configuration that allows us to have these wonderful views. So this is the cameras.sfg file of the 777-200F of Captain Sim. I will show you the pages. If you know something more than me, just have a look at the settings here. So let us have a quick look. It is exactly this camera definition 1, camera definition 2, and so on. So you can have a look at the values here. Save this file, and if you know something more than me, you can adjust the values properly. But definitely, I wouldn't suggest you to proceed with the cockpit views, to change the cockpit views. If something is different here, just have a look at my settings quickly. I think it is this XYZ axis somewhere. And these are the values that you change. But I repeat, I'm not a specialist, so I cannot give any kind of information that I cannot talk about. It wouldn't be wise. Okay, so yeah, it is this one, initial XYZ. Here is the axis. And if there is any change, definitely it is not from the cockpit point of view, but something, let's say, from the last cameras in the aft. I don't know if this is helpful or not, but anyhow, the settings of Captain Sim are these ones. If you're interested, you can take a snapshot and examine, but I cannot talk about those things because I'm not a specialist. I don't want to save changes. No, I don't want to save changes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is all for now. If you found this clip interesting, don't forget to comment, to subscribe. You can ask me whatever you like down in the comments. Thank you for watching this clip and hope to see you soon to the next one. You take care and bye for now.